I meant to have more of this done. I set my alarm for 6:30 today, and when I woke up at 7:40, I realized, oh, I set it to 6:30 p.m.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. When I wake up in the morning, I try to have my first 2 hours of the day like as smooth as possible. I basically like to think of anything that isn't the painting itself, really. Because painting, I love it, but it's very boring, technically. You know, I like when the painting's finished more than the act of doing it. My fondest memories are probably, so baseball was my life growing up. And when I got hit in the face, when I was 8 years old, my uncle realized that he has to like learn how to catch and stuff. You know, he has to like learn like how to really play baseball. So he like went he went balls out with setting up his backyard. Like he put a batting cage back there, he set up a pitching mound. I was over there every day in the summer because like my parents worked, so like we would just play baseball all day. That's what I did as a kid from like 8 years old to probably like 13, probably like 12, 13, playing baseball and getting, you know, just, and honestly, it's what got me good. What started the art journey was the painting journey in particular. I was 20 when I started drawing. I was playing baseball. I was a full-time like student playing baseball and stuff. And right before my senior season, I tore my labrum in my shoulder, and it's like a bad injury. Like you need surgery to fix it. It's a year recovery. That one meant for me was my whole life. I like played baseball. You know, this, that, the other thing. And it's like the last year I'm about to play it, my arm's just super hurt, and I'm kind of just like thrown out into the world without knowing what to do at all. You know, I got a job at a school and knew I wasn't going to be a teacher while I was working there, and it was just a confusing part of my life. I couldn't believe it. I mean, honestly, it didn't sink in right away at all while I was talking to the doctor about it. But when he was explaining, he was like, all right, so it's a small tear in your labrum. As soon as he said that and he was showing me the MRI or whatever, I wasn't listening to anything. Like, I just couldn't even fathom the fact that like, I have a fucking torn labrum right now. Like, are you serious? And I realized like I knew what I was in for with this. But I could tell that my mom didn't. And so like my mom was like, you know, trying to like basically have regular conversation with me after. And I just, on the ride home, I started crying. You know, it was more of a tearing up. And then when I got home and was telling my dad about it, that's where I started to cry, because I just realized that this is a potential, most likely, but potential life career-ending thing. I didn't watch baseball for a full year. I couldn't talk about it, watch it. I went all this time without having an injury. The one time I'm gonna get an injury is the last year I would have played. You know, and it's just, and if I wanted to go to any other level, it was like I needed that senior year. One thing that was in my head though, 100%, I mean this, I really did realize right away that something was gonna come of it. I knew something was gonna come of it. My art career started with making a clothing line before painting. And when that happened, I kind of just thought like, all right, well, something's gonna happen with the clothing line that's gonna be like game-changing, that wouldn't have happened without this injury happening and whatever. And I was planning to have surgery like a week, like the next week I was gonna get my labrum surgery. So it must have been in July of 2017. Your brother hit me up and he was like, oh shit, I didn't know you did, you know, I didn't know you did art. This, that, the other thing. Like I would like to buy some pieces. I sold him three paintings for like, I think it was $290, which is like not what it would be, you know, not how it goes now. Like, you know what I mean? I was just super new to everything then. And I remember he just gave me 400. I remember, where it was definitely like less than that, but he was like, yo, I'm just gonna give you 400, dude. This is sick, you know? Right. And that was my first sale. And I was also fucking ecstatic after it. Yeah, no, it's, yeah, he's an OG supporter.
That's so dope.
So for sure. I didn't end up finding it. Yeah, this is the biggest piece I've done. If I could make a painting that big every time, I would do it.
Takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, so this painting took like 3 weeks of like all day, every day, doing, just painting and thinking of ideas. So that's why you see cards for the first part, but then like the rest isn't, because it's like, I realized I had to go with a different idea. Where I wrote notes, I drew the pencil because it's like, as you're like living in life, like it's important to take notes. Basquiat would do that with his work. Like he would cross out words and stuff because he felt that people looked at it harder,
right,
rather than just seeing a word.
So in regarding to your style, let's say if you ever ran into somebody, trying to compare, do you ever get offended if somebody be like, oh, I see similarities in your art to this person's art?
That's a good question. So if someone was ever to imply like I copy or something, that's where I would not be like cool with it, because like it's completely like my own twist.
Right.
But if someone says similarities, no, that's perfectly fine. Because I mean, I listen to music where like I can tell certain musicians like who they were fans of growing up, because I can hear the influence of whoever it may be in their music. Any kind of form of creating, like you learn from the people that you look up to, like you learn from the people that inspire you. So it's like everything nowadays is basically a twist off of one's inspirations. I feel like
Gotcha.
Your own twist.
Gotcha.
Artists are just responsible for making things look good. To find this style, to find like my style in general, it took so many hours. So did this painting take 25 hours or did it take like 4 years? I always try to make my art like a happy kind of vibe, not in like a corny way, but like I want people to enjoy what they're looking at. I thought to myself, if I'm drawing, making art for a living and somehow can figure out how to do that, then there's just nothing to complain about.